Hello, it's Dave Campbell. Another Dave Campbell short. And I'm sitting here in Antrim County at a beautiful nature preserve. And I'm thinking about something to talk about that will be of interest, and I'm just going to focus on the water today a little more, and you can hear me. You don't need to see my face. But what I wanted to talk about in this talk is that concept of innovation, technology, or IT, information technology, being confused with the idea of technology itself or innovation itself. Information technology seems to be the predominant understanding of what innovation is these days. And the term itself, IT, has crept into everything by virtue of the demand for IT systems. So that by default, when you're a company owner and you're a management team and you're having to budget for equipment, you're having to spend most of your money on IT systems, aren't you, these days? Not only do you need it for reporting quarterly, you need it for communicating, getting your product out in the public. So it's a natural misuse of the word technology and the word innovation when you immediately think of we're advancing as a society, we're so much smarter. Well, I don't think so. I think that, like the calculator was a math machine, could do solve problems for mathematicians and a myriad of other things. Computers the same. IT and its acceleration to become a dashboard mechanism, a point of decision at a glance, has reached, I think it reached its peak. Now don't misunderstand me. I think it's going to continue to get better in itself as a system and as technology. Okay, but I think to lump technology expenditure into IT and forget about everything else is actually going backward in business for many, many reasons. It's going backward in your finance, backward in your business, backward as a society, and this IT bubble is proof of that. This IT bubble is much like the other bubbles of our recent history and the subsequent crashes and the bailouts. Now, this ties into a myriad of things as far as how do you distract people from understanding or realizing this phenomenon of IT bubble, market bubble expenditure. This frenzy to get rich off the stocks that are being driven by what appears to be a good thing, right? Technology. Technology is a good thing. But was the real estate bubble fraud, was that a good thing? Were all those products during the AIG financial fraud, was that a good thing? I want you to associate money and what's happening in the stock market and what's happening in perceptions as good. I want you to see that very intelligent people have learned how to hijack terminology, success, finance, to create a trend that is absolutely only benefiting a very few people. Sure, it's creating jobs for people who are pumping out IT systems, and that's not all in itself bad. It gets a little convoluted when you try to break this down and argue that overall this is a very bad thing that's happening in the guise of an IT market expansion. But you have to be able to pull apart the components and look at them separately and say, this is a partial truth being used as a shiny object to drive a greedy frenzy, and throw in an election and a pandemic, throw in civil unrest, and what else could it be? What else could it be? It's overall, it's all these things I mentioned in this context are being used to weaken the United States. Now I'm going to prove it right now. The United States, as a governance system, has produced in the shortest amount of time in history a very powerful society. For this reason, the people bought in, they lent their minds to companies and corporations, and the corporations and the companies paid good salaries and helped the people accrue wealth. For many, many years, the customer was always right. The customer, as far as the business owner was concerned, was king. Now that's a true statement. But today, who's king? The shareholder. The quarterly statement on the dashboard of your IT mechanism the amount of money in your spreadsheet in your banking account, that's king to the shareholders. That's king to the corporate board members today. And because the shift has gone from the customer as king, now who's the customer? The customer is the individual in society. The individual in society is your society. It's your focus as a commercial and a governance leader. If it isn't, then you are in trouble. And we're in trouble right now. But what needs to happen is a shift back to building the value chain that currently is being sacked by kleptocracy, by colluding board members, by misuse of information, by intelligence that is for hire And you got to say, well, who's masterminding this kind of stuff, Dave? Kleptocracy, kleptocrats, super rich, super rich. When the United States impeached, I'm going to tell you, the United States of America impeached Donald Trump. It wasn't the Democrats. The United States of America impeached Donald Trump. And where did Donald Trump go running to when his Senate was in trouble? His party Senate was in trouble. He went across the sea to Switzerland to meet with his pseudo-Senate, didn't he? His rich oligarchs, where all the money people are. And they continued to support a man who said, see what I can do? I'm not loyal to the United States. I'm loyal to my kleptocrat buddies, my oligarch buddies. That's what needs to be stated, guys. You need to, as a country, we got to stop. We're buying into the intelligence, the psychological operations of oligarchs who have pitted Democrats against Republicans, who've used all of the buzz movements and drummed them all up, threw in a pandemic, which was originated in Wuhan, China. Okay, I'm not downplaying the damage that the pandemic has caused. It's wreaked havoc. I'm just telling you, it was my gut feeling. It was a man-made pandemic, and you can track where it took off, why it was easily preyed upon in the old folks' homes to spike the numbers. There's studies that need to come out. Now, why can't the studies come out and be truthful? Well, the oligarchs and the big money people own the news. So is there an answer for this, Dave? Yes, there is. There's an answer. And the answer is we the people. The answer is, the truth is that even the dang dumb dunce kleptocrats who keep sacking the value chain at such a high level, even they're not this stupid. When they hear me talk about this, they're going to say, you know, he's right. If we keep sacking the value chains across the world and destroying the economies, there won't be anything left to steal except what our buddy oligarchs have. And then what are you going to have? Turf wars. Society all goes backward unless people work at factories and build wealth for their families. So everything I'm doing, all of the programs that I'm putting forward are designed to build the value chain in the United States back up. Here, I told you I was going to let you look at the water. Let's do that. But building up that value chain, that's where we need to go. You do that with project development. You do that with getting good people, their good jobs, using the academic disciplines, everything that has been systematically eliminated or close to be eliminated that serve to help the workplace. And I'm talking about HR. I'm talking about market research. I'm talking about all the things, innovative research, everything that is needed to build up the value chain has been eliminated because it costs too much, they say. All they're doing is it's short-term thinking, starting with Jack Welch. He saw that fat company and he said, he said to himself, I have a plan. I can make these quarterly statements go up and the value of this company go up on a market. But what did he do? He started a trend of devaluing the customer He started a trend of devaluing the value chain, gutting the superpower. But we're not gutted yet. There's a lot of people that still have a lot of money and a lot of investment power, and everybody's afraid right now because they're buying into psyops. They're buying into bad guy talk. Well, I'm asking you to buy into some good guy talk and get behind me. The cash initiative, the Mike model, the regeneration model. That's my plan, that's my work, and I'm sharing it with the world. And we're going to get the people working, we're going to get the resources to the communities, we're going to build ethical banking and stock systems, and we're going to build factories that produce incredible engines that are fuel efficient and produce electricity too. And we're not going to be worshiping, Elon Musk and watching him walking around in his alligator shoes, or look like Howdy Doody with his little hanky on his neck. God, I feel bad for you, Elon, when you realize how bad you're being played. I feel bad for you because you are smart enough to realize and recognize what's going on. Second richest man in the world isn't going to mean squat within a few more months. You're going to be the target of the most fierce public ridicule, and I'm going to help bring that in. Nothing personal. I get a kick out of being able to say nothing personal now, because when my systems and my thoughts and my behaviors at work made money for people, and then they let you go and they say nothing personal after they take from you, well, I'm going to say that same thing. Nothing personal, but we're going to take our money back. People are going to get behind me. We're going to get our houses back. We're going to have trustworthy banks, trustworthy insurance. All of it's coming back. All right, we're going to do this all over the world. Here, I'll give you one more good look at the lake. Isn't that beautiful?